Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Welcome back to the Consistency Code podcast.
Hot. On this week's episode, we have so much to talk about. We have a talk about the Arnold just happened this previous weekend, right? Previous weekend.
Yes,
Yeah.
last weekend.
Yeah. So there's a lot to debunk. Obviously, feedback came in from Tyler Mannion on his Instagram for all divisions, I think now. Or one of the men's ones is missing or something, I don't know. But we got the feedback that we would talk about,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
So, on today's episode, we are going to dive into some behaviors that you may be doing on your phallus journey
hmm
that are actually leading to inconsistency or holding you back or just a waste of your time. But before we get into that, we're going to do a quick little Arnold
Recap.
recap.
Yeah. Because it was so fun to watch. It was so fun to watch.
That was the best bikini lineup at the Arnold, like,
Yeah.
that I can remember. Like,
Yeah. It's been a while,
yeah,
right?
that
Since
was
there was
tea,
like,
and I still am very upset that I wasn't able to attend in person.
we went through hell to try, okay? That's all that
We
matters.
put that, yeah, we really tried.
Hella effort. Yeah. But it was one of the most attended, I think it was. It was really,
There's like
really
over
good.
10,000 people at the expo.
Yeah. So like it was pretty big. It was the year that like I think what made it so special, it was the year where everybody just came in so well and like at 100% that it was so hard to tell who was gonna take what for the men and women. So that's what I think made it more interesting to people rather than like seeing the lineup be like, hey, like we can kind of expect. Obviously, like you have your like favorites who you have like lined up, but everybody came in at such good shape that we just didn't know.
Yeah, that
hmm
was like, I still don't know how the judges made their decision.
Oh, I would hate to be a judge. I would hate to be a judge.
You truly are splitting hairs.
It is. And it was, right?
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, but we'll start with you. You can visit honestly like whatever bikini man wellness, whichever one you thought was like, oh my gosh, or you expected it, or what you thought about Tyler's
Yeah,
feedback. Let us
well,
know.
let's just talk about bikinis, since that's
Yeah.
probably what most of our
hmm
girls are here for. So obviously the tie up between Laurel and Amy,
hmm
um, I think lots of people had their money on Laura Lee coming back and taking her third or fourth Arnold. She's
Yeah,
three
this
times.
will be our fourth.
Yeah, fourth Arnold title. Um, and I will say she came in hot. Like, that
Yeah.
was an insane comeback from her Olympia showing
hmm
like 6 months ago, 5, 6 months ago. Um,
It's been
and
that long.
what?
It's been that long.
I think, yeah, the Olympia was what, October? And Laura Lee looked absolutely phenomenal,
hmm
insane. But on the other hand, Amy also came in
At 100%.
at her best, 110%. And when both of those two are 100%, it is like such a toss up.
Yeah.
But I think where Amy has missed the mark previously is lacking that perfect amount of balance, symmetry from top to bottom. And either her upper body or lower body has just been too overpowering in the past. But she came in with the perfect amount of balance this time, looked insane.
Mhm.
And Tyler Mannion even said in his recap, like, Laura Lee was what, 99.9%,
Yeah.
and Amy was
That's
just, yeah,
at
just
100%.
took a
Yeah. That's where
little hair. But both of them are going head to head again at Pittsburgh
exactly.
in 6 weeks or something like that, 5 weeks now maybe.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited to
that'll
watch
be
that.
really fun to watch again. Yeah. And then we had Ashlyn in third. Ashlyn, it has come so far over the years that I've been watching her. I do really, really like her physique now. And I will agree with Tyler when he says that she just needs to narrow her back pose a little bit. She stands pretty wide, or
She
did.
does.
And I think that threw off the symmetry and balance in her back pose a little bit.
hmm
But yeah, that girl, oh my God, has insane glutes as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, really, really strong top three lineup in bikini.
Yeah.
And I am a Laura fan favorite. Like Laura, I really like Laura look. I don't know if I'm biased because I feel like my shape is most similar to Laura, but she was the first bikini girl I ever followed when I was like doing my first prep. She's, yeah, always been my favorite, but I do
Yeah.
love Amy as well, and honestly all of them.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you there, especially when it comes to like splitting hairs with these athletes. I think it needs to happen as much as it's like it can sound unfair with like the she came in at 99.9 but Amy came in at 100%. Like at the end of the day you do need people with an eye to kind of be like somebody has to take first and somebody has to take second. Right? So that's just what it is. And I think from the Olympia to now, obviously, like Laura, like night and day, right? So that was really good to see. For Ashlyn, I think coming down from second at the Olympia to third at the Arnold, people were speaking about that, but at the same time, it's like two different stages at the end of the day, two different, like two different shows so far apart. You never know what's going to happen in between. And I don't think her going from second to third is necessarily like, hey, she looked worse, but I don't think that's the case by any means. I think she looked amazing,
No,
but
no.
it's just, yeah, again, like somebody has to take first, somebody has to take second and third, right? But I think it was a really good lineup. I think the decisions that were made sense for what they saw that day. They all came in at 100%. Like I have nothing that I'm just like, oh, I don't think that's like judged properly. Obviously, Laura Lee is a fan favorite, like rightfully so. She looks great, but at the same time, it's just what you look like that day, I guess. And it's not like she came in looking bad. It's just somebody else came in 1% better. And I guess that is what matters at the end of the day, right?
And there's always going to be
Yeah,
arguments both ways, right? Like this sport is
100%.
so subjective, so
Yeah, but I see like people in the comments just tearing these girls apart, being like, I don't think she'd have won. I don't think this. And I'm like, you have never stepped on a stage, let alone some of you have never stepped into a gym. It's like these older men that like just sit on their phones all day or could be
oh
like women. And I'm
my
just like, are
God.
you joking?
That
Like
would
these
be
girls
like
see
me
this.
commentating on like I don't
It's
know,
insane.
like a freaking like tennis or like rugby
Like
match
it's
or
not
something.
like that,
Like
babe.
something that I just like know nothing about.
Exactly. And it's just like these people see these comments, and even if it doesn't affect them, I think it's just like really odd as a person who's watching these people make comments like that. And I think something that I saw that I was like, I had to comment back. I was like, it's a really odd thing to say. It was like, well, you can see like who paid off like what judge. And I'm like, you guys do understand, like, I do get politics is a thing in bodybuilding, like whether we like it or not. But at the same time, I promise you, nobody's going backstage, hey, let me give you $100 so you can actually give one more point to my girl. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. It's never
Yeah.
that serious. What are you talking about?
No.
It's
Yeah, there is
insane.
no way that is
We're
happening.
reaching, we're reaching
Yeah.
so hard. And it's,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was a really good thing to watch. I think my most surprising, I want to say, not surprising, but like it took me aback at how much progress this person made was the difference between Phoebe's look the previous years compared to now. The girl walked out with a brand new set of glutes, and I was just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It was a year gap, right? So it
That
was,
was an
yeah,
incredible comeback for Phoebe.
yeah,
And you know what's really impressive is that she fully took a step back from
yeah.
bodybuilding during her time off. You know, she did high rocks, she was focusing on other forms of exercise and not really prioritizing bodybuilding as much. And she was very open and transparent about that. And she needed to take that step back, which I think we
Hmm.
all do at some point. But it's just impressive that she was still able to make such
Right?
strong improvements to her physique
I'm saying
despite
if
not being 100%
into
bodybuilding.
bodybuilding only. Like I feel like if because I was telling you this, if I went for a run as much as she did, and
I
a
would
year
have
went by, I would have nothing.
I
I would have
would,
nothing left.
yeah, and
Right?
honestly,
The
that's why I
little
don't
muscle I
run. I'm like,
have.
I have a fear of losing my glutes.
Yeah, so that girl coming in like that was just really nice to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, I'm
And
really excited to see her
at the
this summer.
UK, yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But as far as bikini goes, everything looked good there. I think what was, and then the other big topic in bodybuilding was like the men's categories, like whatever. I
Before we
didn't
go into the
pay.
men's, just one more bikini girl, we should talk about Ashley K.
Yeah, yeah.
Ashley, as soon as she walked out, she's not her best
Mm.
again. She wasn't her best at the Olympia. I don't think she was her best at the Arnold either.
Hmm.
At the Olympia, she was a bit too soft. At the Arnold, she was a bit too hard. And I know that Adam and Ashley even said that on their podcast post Arnold this week. She was just a little bit too hard and a little bit too.
Yeah, she was diced actually because Ashley K
Yeah,
is known for she is pretty muscular, so what like they don't have to do too much with her conditioning because she has enough muscle to push through her skin, right? But when she came out, she was peeled, like her quads were separated. And
separated.
it was just like a thing of what like when did we take a turn? Because I don't think that's been her look prior, you know?
No, no, and I know that there's a lot of kind of talk and debate right now as to whether Ashley Kay truly is like the GOAT bikini
Mm.
competitor or whether she still is. Like, there's no debate as to whether she ever was because, she has the most pro wins of any athlete in the
I think
bodybuilding.
ever. Yeah, yeah,
I'm not sure, but
ever.
yeah, most bikini wins by far by an astronomical amount. Ashley isn't beating top Olympians
Yeah.
these days,
Yeah,
right?
looks change, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 100%. The sport evolves, and she has done a really good job of evolving her physique as the criteria evolves as
Oh
well over
yeah,
the years.
100%. She's
But
kept up.
yeah, when she's up against top Olympians, she's consistently getting that, anywhere between like third and fifth
Hmm.
spot. So yeah, that's been an interesting debate as well. But
Yeah, with
yeah,
her, it's just very with her. It's very it's a unique situation because she's been here for so long, and we've seen her like adapt to all different routes that bikini has gone down, and she's kept up very well. Like even staying within the top five, going this far down the evolution of bikini is super impressive. And I think like the debates
no,
that go on
yeah,
and things like that is like you have to keep in mind that like this girl has gone through all
there is no
and she's kept
other
up
bikini Olympian from her original days that is still competing
and doing well.
and doing well now.
So there's that. So while you guys are debating that part of it, also think of the other aspects too.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So really, really solid bikini
I loved it.
vibe. Yeah.
But
And now the men.
before we do actually, there's one girl that I actually started keeping an eye on a little more for. Reina, I think it was.
Yes. Yep.
The one with the tattoo.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Her, she looked good. Her balance was really freaking good.
Really, really good balance. I can
Hmm.
see her. Yeah, I can see her moving up like top
Her
four.
glutes are they're nice, right? And I was like looking through her things, and I was like, no, this girl is it. And it's
Yeah.
with even like the commentators on show day, like they could even see it. She's very well presented. Her posing's great. She knows how to showcase what she's got. Obviously, there is still a gap between like her and somebody like Lauralee and Amy, but at the same time, it's she held her own, and her glutes look phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
really, really strong back pose. I think she
Oh
can
yeah.
tweak her front pose just a little bit
Hmm.
to showcase her physique just a little bit better. But yeah, from the back,
Hmm.
like she's holding her own up there for
Yeah.
sure.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
But anyways, the men. What a headache this week has been since the Arnolds for the men. Let me tell you that much.
controversy.
After
Yeah,
controversy, it's been a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I think the most obvious one was how everybody came in. I think the biggest okay, don't shoot the messenger. I'm the messenger. He still, even though this was Nick's best look, it was still not my favorite. And I don't know what it is. It's still not my personal favorite, you know?
Nick, I swear to God, is like 95% there every time, and I'm the same. I cannot put my finger on it. Like there's something. There's
It's something. He looked massive. He looked massive and he was conditioned,
yeah,
but it's just something. And like if my eye is going somewhere, and the thing is, here's the thing that I heard was in bodybuilding, your eyes should not be going to one thing that is sticking out like a sore thumb, whether it be your glutes, delts, your quads, whatever. If your eye's going there, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? Everything should flow. And I think he just doesn't flow to my eyes. To my eyes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree with that, and like I'm not gonna speak on who I think should have taken the win in that division. I don't know enough about it, but like I have been following the controversy when it comes to everybody saying
Yeah.
Nick should have taken.
I think that's, I'll say it front up. I think that's, I'm gonna have to like, for the people saying that is because Nick has not came in at 100% every other time that like this the time that he came in at 100%. But the thing is, the other men did too. But the thing is, I don't think he should have got second. I don't think Hattie should have got third. I think if we were pulling hairs here one more time, it should have been Andrew, Hattie, Nick. But putting Nick at first, I feel like is a push and pull thing here.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's just the
Yeah.
thing. Like, yes, Nick came in at his all-time best, but
Yeah. Not knocking that part, yeah. But Andrew's again like a 6 foot something, man who's, he
mhm.
has his own thing going on. And it's his time, he's worked for it. It's his time to take his win. I think he was patient. But the other aspect of these wins, forget the first, second, third, whatever. Because did Hattie retire, by the way?
I saw that. Is that fake news?
Honestly, I don't know if it's fake or real, but like honestly, if he retired, like I would get it at this point. Like,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah,
take the step back. I think a lot of people should take a step back, reevaluate, and then come back. But then that also puts me at my next point of the whole
the
Martin
Martin.
situation. Yeah. What do you think? Tell us your raw thoughts.
So I'm all for sportsmanship, okay?
100%.
Regardless of your behind the scenes
Yeah.
drama, I think when you're in the public eye on stage representing yourself, your brands, your sponsors, the
Hmm.
sport in general, like what's the word? Like be sportsmanlike. Like
Exactly.
there is no reason ever to act disrespectfully towards other competitors on stage, right?
Yeah.
Keep your
Yeah.
shit for backstage. Like,
Yeah.
no
Even
reason.
at that, like, it's gonna mess with your own day, and it's not worth it
Yeah.
to act to that extent.
Yeah. So for those who don't know or haven't been following, during the awards ceremony, Martin shook every competitor's hand except for Nick's. So he went down the line, skipped Nick, which to me, yeah, that's just plain disrespect.
Yeah.
Not a good
It
look.
showed everybody, right?
Yeah, not a good look whatsoever. And as a result, Martin has lost his sponsorships
Yeah.
from Elevate and
Was it?
thank you. I was
Yeah.
gonna say bum.
Yeah. I was gonna say bump too. Yeah, that whole debacle I think was a bit much. Like we do see people also saying like old school bodybuilders used to go like at each other's necks, which is so valid, but it was done in a very specific way that wasn't just making you look greasy. I'm gonna be honest with you, because backstage apparently he shoved Nick, whatever, and then he was on stage, didn't shake his hand, and then cheered when Nick lost and Andrew won. But I think
Exactly.
at the same time, when you're doing things like that, you have to understand that bodybuilder or not, you are representing your brand, which is yourself. You
Yeah.
have sponsorships, you have that. You have all the rights to say. I think it makes it more interesting the fact that we know who you don't like. That's my one thing, right? If you don't like Nick, say it publicly, have it done with, but then on stage, do not do things to that extent. There's levels to this shit, and you
Exactly.
just exceeded
You
it.
can prove your point in ways that are not disrespectful like that.
100%
Like I don't expect you to keep your feelings and opinions
inside.
private, but like
Yeah.
there's a time and a place, right?
Yeah.
And
And the
so
stage is not it.
yeah, and there's also the whole controversy with, oh, should he have lost his sponsorships? Is that fair? Blah blah blah.
Is this
And
his first time doing something like this, by the way?
no, I'm
Sorry.
I'm fairly certain that he's been disrespectful in the past.
Oh, he's been a crash out? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I'm fairly, don't quote me, but I'm fairly certain that he has been, but nothing to this degree, right?
was it during the time of like Hostile and Nick and all of that shit? Was that when he was
I'm not
being.
sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but there's what I was gonna say is there's consequences and repercussions to your actions, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that was the wake up call that he
Yeah.
needed. And obviously, there's some mental things to work through there. But
Yeah.
what I will say is a lot of people were celebrating that he lost his sponsorships, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's necessarily fair
Yeah.
either. That's almost equally as bad as him celebrating Nick's loss. So,
Yeah. I think where the disconnect happens is we're happy that somebody lost, at a certain point what they've built for themselves. But I think it would have been a different outcome if, in my opinion, if he did what he did on stage, got off, and posted an apology. I don't think any sponsor would have dropped him. But he doubled down when he got off stage and he was just
oh, he
going
kept digging his hole.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was having
He was posting
a
like
breakdown.
Joker shit on his stories, like
Yeah, and he was attacking
really.
fans. Yeah, well, he was attacking fans. He was just talking out of turn, and at that point, like the brand also has a right to separate themselves from people who don't represent them well, and that's fair to say.
1000%. Yeah, like you have to uphold your brand values and what you stand for, and like obviously that his actions and behavior is not in alignment whatsoever
Yeah.
with any brand. So
Like get off stage, apologize, but like the fact that you carried it on, like, hey, that was a bad moment before me. I hate losing. We would have all been like, okay, like let's chill, like you're
yeah,
fine. But the aftermath was crazy. There was no damage control and no PR training.
yeah,
So that's where the issues became bigger than they were. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 100%. So yeah, that was quite the interesting Arnold.
Last one about the guys. What did you think about
Sam,
Sam Solik's
I was
presentation?
gonna ask you too.
Yeah, yeah. You go first.
Oh my God. Okay, please, that man needs a haircut. Present yourself well on stage. Like, this isn't high school
Yeah,
bodybuilding. Like, you are on the most prestigious stage in the world. So
yeah.
that was kind
I
of a
think
joke,
yeah.
but for real. Secondly, please, for the love of God, learn how to pose.
Hmm.
When you are getting up on one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious stage in the bodybuilding industry, like, your posing should not have a question mark next to it. And presentation.
Exactly. Especially for the men. Especially for the men.
Yeah.
So it's
Honestly,
because
for the
that's,
ladies too. Like,
yeah. But like when you're flexing
yeah,
and you have like 15 different positions, you gotta get that. Like you can't hack that.
no.
So
Yeah.
that's, yeah. The haircut is true. I think he had a haircut during the Arnold Amateurs, right? Or am I wrong?
I can't remember what he looked like during the Arnold Amateurs.
He looked good. Like he had a haircut, and I was like, okay, slay. And then I saw this, and I was like, what's going on, guys? I want to
Yeah.
see your face. But yeah,
And I was watching his like peaking process, and this man was peaking on like
he can
10,000
eat.
like dirty calories, and
He
they're
can eat.
he can eat, yeah, but there also like comes a point of like no returns, right? Like, and also food choices are so important. Like, don't
Hmm.
just be smashing like dirty calories. Like, it's not going to
Hmm.
do anything for you. And did he need, like, yes, that man can eat, but did he need 10,000 calories? Like, there's no strategy to his peak
Yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah,
Also is self-coached, and like all the creds to him for self-coaching. That's not an
yeah.
easy thing to do.
He did well.
I think it's time that he gets a coach just to have a little bit of extra support when
Yeah, for that level.
posing for that
Yeah,
level.
the posing thing is so intense because it's such a like it's like a sore thumb, right? Like once again, like my eyes going to one thing and it's your posing because it's not like it was a slight mistake. It was so to the point where he made himself look smaller than he is, and that was a big problem. Self-coaching is one thing, but skipping out on a posing coach is another, right? You
Totally.
should unless you're taking your time to learn your poses to a T, that's different, but I don't think I don't think he put that as a priority, which it is. Like it is a priority, but I think one thing that I hate seeing online, and it's always like these either like Reddit trolls or just IG trolls, and it's these geared up men who again have not stepped on stage, they're just big to be big, and they're now coming on talking about he got a pro card because he's a fan favorite and he stepped on the Arnold as a what is it called? It was like a favoritism like invite. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I'm confused, okay? I think he deserved to turn pro. Like he looked good to turn from an amateur to a pro. There's levels to this. And if you're at the top of the food chain in the amateur league, you're gonna get a pro card. When you go into the pro league, you're starting from the bottom up,
Yeah,
like
you're
all over.
for the most like there's certain scenarios where you are competitive in the pro league right off the bat, but for the
Yeah,
most part, like you're bottom of the barrel again.
yeah,
And
like
for
that's
those
what you're
who don't know,
expecting.
if you win your pro card at the Arnold Amateur, like you win the overall at the Arnold Amateur, you are invited back the
Hmm.
following year. So that's the reason why Sam was qualified to compete.
Yeah, and so do you expect him to say no, thank you? Like I would have gone to I don't care.
Yeah,
That's how you get
yeah,
yourself
of
out
course.
there and the
But like
judges to see you.
do your due diligence and put the effort in. Like
Oh yeah, 100%. That I agree on.
yeah, I would be fear. I would be fear. I would be. I would have a fear of embarrassing myself as well. You
Mhm.
know, like I would make sure that I did everything in my power to bring my absolute best. And
Yeah, that's
it's an honor
also
and a
on
privilege
you.
to
Yeah.
stand up on that stage and like to make a fool out of yourself is just like to
Yeah,
treat it like a joke.
you need to do your part as much
Yeah,
as like you deserve to be on that stage because you earned it. You also need to do your part and present yourself properly, but I also don't think we should be online talking about them. He doesn't deserve to be a pro, let alone like can
yeah.
even compete with them.
No,
It's
he
like, what do you
deserves
want him
it.
to do?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
there's
do you want him to come to the pro leagues and just dominate? Like, that's not how things work.
he has
And
a
that's
lot of
why,
potential. He's just still
mhm,
small and yeah,
yeah,
bottom of the barrel
which
in
is
comparison
fine.
to those pros. Like those guys are freaking huge, huge,
They're huge. So
and
I
it
don't
takes
think.
years and years of building to get to that level.
And he's standing next to past Olympians. So
Yeah,
what do we talk? Honestly, there's no like the correlations just make no sense. And I'm sitting here like you're judging a kid because he's still very young for
yeah,
stepping on a pro stage that you're supposed to step on if you get the opportunity. Yeah, he didn't do his part fully, but like he stepped on it because he can. And then doing like all this like side quest stuff is just it just gives bitter and it's such a bad look. And it's not no girls are saying this, it's all men. And it's shame. Shame on you.
yeah. I'm sure it just comes from a point of jealousy in a sense.
It does. It does. And it's not cute, guys. Stop
No.
it. Let the man be. Gosh. Anyways, we got so wow, this Arnold recap took forever.
That's okay. It needed to be
Yeah.
unpacked.
We loved watching, so I was dead ass sitting in front of my computer for like hours on end with like a
Yeah,
Diet Coke, so it
yeah.
was my entertainment.
No, same, same.
Yeah.
It gets me
But
excited to watch Arnold UK in T minus 2 weeks and the Olympia this year as well.
we're going. Guys, we're gonna say it right now so we can hold ourselves accountable. We will be at the Olympia, right?
Yes, we will be
Yeah.
at the Olympia and
Okay.
yeah, we will be booking everything
And
ASAP.
we'll
You're
vlog it.
locked
We'll
in.
vlog it.
It will be obviously, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're gonna go. We're gonna get good seats so we can really lay our eyes on these people because we missed this year Arnold and I think we really felt the FOMO. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
have to go. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Moving on
let's
to
yeah,
the
let's
tricky
do
topic.
our topics on a timely manner here for you
Yeah.
guys
You know
because we
what,
don't want
like,
us to be 2 hours.
inspired, yeah, you know what inspired and triggered this idea? The idea for
Uh-huh.
this topic for me is just like over and over, I keep seeing people post about these specific things that they're doing to try to accomplish their fitness goals, you know, lose weight, lose fat, and it just rubs me the wrong way in a sense that
Yeah.
like it's holding them back and like also with social media being as big as it is, obviously there's like influencers out there who are like misleading others into believing that these things will help them. And yeah, it just like was building up inside of me. And I actually made a reel the other day, posted it on my Instagram, just like
Hmm.
unpacking things, calling people out on things they're doing that are holding them back,
Yeah.
or even pushing
I
them in
saw
the
that.
direction. Yeah, I'm excited to discuss these.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it. Get into it.
Yeah. So
Call this
we'll
false productivity and fat loss.
well, productivity and fat loss. Bella came
Yeah,
up with that topic. But yeah, this is a very important one. I think the first thing that we should visit when it comes to this is fat burners and all the other contributors that we do seem to utilize during this process of trying to lose fat, lose weight, but it's slowing down our progress and we're not staying consistent because these things are holding us back. So the first thing is going to be fat burners, and why do people take them? The first thing is marketing. How we hear about fat burners to begin with, and I don't want you lying to me, is because it's promoted, whether it be by influencers, by companies, it's put in our
Yeah.
face, right? And so that's how we see them. Culture has already put it out there to be a hack. Hey, add this onto your stack, add this into your routine, and it's going to make fat loss better, faster, and it's gonna happen. And we've seen that time and time again with something like OxyShred, a $60 supplement. May I just put in there?
Oh my gosh, do not even get me
Six
started.
zero, 6-0, guys. Okay. Anyways, and people have been conditioned to believe that this is the only way, and these are the only requirements that will get you to where you need to be, and that is just false, right?
You can't take a supplement
This
and
is really deep for Bella, as you can tell.
and assume it's gonna override like the bottom line, the science when it comes to fat loss. Like if you are not doing the basics, such
Mm,
as eating in a calorie deficit, there is
yeah,
no supplement that's going to override that. And
0.
yeah, I wish that these fat burners or um, shred supplements, metabolism boosters,
Yeah,
I wish that they worked like that. I wish it was as simple. I'm sure we all do. Wouldn't that be nice? You just pop a pill, boom, 5 pounds off.
exactly. That's
But
just how it works.
these honestly are all marketing scams
It
for the
is.
most part. And so yeah, like the bottom line is like you can't be relying on these supplements to help you get to your weight loss
Yeah.
goals. And how these supplements are designed is that they're primarily caffeine based, and
Yeah.
caffeine has a thermogenic effect, right? Like because it
Mm,
boosts your heart rate, so the faster your heart is pumping, the more calories you're burning. But that thermogenic effect is so minimal. Like we're talking like an extra like 50 to 100 calories a day, guys. Like it is really nothing crazy. So can they be beneficial to take prior to doing a cardio session? Yeah, sure, absolutely. By all means, go for it. Like it'll help get your heart rate up during cardio. You know, it might give you that boost that you need. But is it going to directly cause fat loss? No.
mm,
And then you also have the side effects of adding in an extra stimulant being more anxiety, sleep disruption, increased cortisol, stress. And as we all know, sleep is like the biggest thing when it comes to recovery. If your sleep's not in check, you're not recovering properly.
yeah.
Sleep is like the number one PED out there.
I like how you put that. I caught that. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not sleeping well, that's going to lead to worse hunger signaling. Yeah,
Yeah. There's there's I think people rely on fat burners before checking off what are the most important things,
exactly.
right? So we have to get the little things add up over time. And this is why, since we neglect them because they're so tiny, we think that the fat burners coming in are gonna make a bigger impact. And that's not the case. If we're not, taking in our caloric intake, we're not taking in our sleep, we're not taking in our step
Not hitting
count,
your step goal,
yeah,
not drinking enough
protein,
water, yeah,
yeah, there's
not hitting your macros.
that's a big thing. There's a lot of things that we see online are, let's say, I'm gonna call it out. I see a lot of people who used to promote OxyShred on TikTok or on Instagram, whatever the case might be. They say that this is, um, it helps them metabolize whatever better and whatnot. There's just so much, like, when a lot of wording is pushed on and we're making things overcomplicated, that's when you have to kind of do your own research and really look into it, because something like OxyShred is not what's making these girls lose weight. Yes, it's aiding in the process of, like Bella said, if you take it pre-cardio and it's raising your heart rate, you're sweating, whatever the case might be. Obviously, that's a good addition. But at the same time, these girls are getting the results they are over the months accumulated because of their caloric intake, because of their step count, calorie, and extra movement. So if you're not seeing progress because you're taking, let's say, a fat burner or fat burner pills, powder, whatever the case might be, you need to do more. Sometimes, like a step count or cardio. anything like that. And it's not this sense of burn yourself out and just keep doing more and more and more, because there is a time where you pull back. But sometimes you cannot just lay in bed and do 2,000 calories of, sorry, what the heck, 2,000 steps, lay in bed all day, but I took a fat burner, so that should actually do it for me. And I didn't track any of my food, but I think I ate in a deficit.
When you put it like that, like it really does make it sound so silly.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Like fat burners are not gonna they're not gonna burn fat. Like
Yeah.
a deficit, an energy deficit is what is gonna
Mhm.
burn fat. And in order to be in that energy deficit consistently, you have to be tracking your macros or following a meal plan that you know is gonna
Mhm.
put you in that deficit, hitting your step goal, doing whatever how much cardio you need to do to aid in keeping you in that deficit, you know, consistent with this, like 7 out of 7 days a week, sleeping well, prioritizing recovery, getting your water in, all of that is
Mhm.
fundamental before a fat burner supplement is going to do anything for you.
Yeah, because fat burners don't, make you lose fat, deficits do. And we can have arguments where you can lose fat while in a surplus. That's like another topic for another time. But that's again where words are thrown around and big words are put in there to confuse audience. And so we just have a lot going on here, and
Yeah,
it's just too
so
much.
don't fall for the false marketing influencing.
And it's hard not to. Like, I don't even blame
Yeah.
people because I did. I was an OxyShred girly through and through.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah, I remember spending my money on a fat burner too.
I would never touch one. I'm sorry. Like, from
Yeah.
here on out, like, I'm so good. I'm so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to our second point, I want to talk about when to utilize refeeds, when refeeds are actually applicable versus like taking them when you don't actually physiologically
Need them.
need them.
Yeah.
So refeeds are especially common in bodybuilding preps, and I think lots of people, if they're just going through like a lifestyle cut or something, they'll use the excuse of a quote unquote refeed to like go out for a cheat meal or something. And they think or assume it will apply to them, work in the same way as when a bodybuilder who's like deep into prep utilizes a
Mhm.
refeed. And unfortunately, it's not how
No,
it
it
works.
works. Yeah.
Like if you want a psychological mental break from your cut, like okay, go out for a free meal, like it's not that deep, like just don't go crazy with it and then get back on track the next day, but don't call it a refeed. Like that's
Mhm.
that's not gonna it's not gonna help boost your fat loss. But
Yeah.
there is a time and a place for refeeds, 100%. But reality is they're a tool for extremely lean athletes, not general fat loss.
Yeah.
So
That's, yeah, I think for hot take for general fat loss, I think that's where I don't want to say refeeds, but what's the word? Sometimes carb cycling can come to use and be put in place where it can help you, or just different things rather than refeeds, because you're not at a place where you are so depleted. You are at a point where there's a plateau that some might face. And it all is dependent on the person too. Like, you can be at a standard fat loss phase, but you're at a plateau and you just cannot seem to get through this hump. And sometimes your coach might not want to add in more movement and will just want to give you a refeed of, it's still going to be just more food that you're already eating, but that will help you get through the little bump there. I don't have much to say on this because I think you just covered everything, but I think a really good thing that I heard from my quote from, I'm having an aneurysm, I think. Give me a second. Okay.
it's okay.
Something that I heard that was told to me that still sticks with me to this day. It was like, some people might say it's a little bit harsh. My coach actually told me this. It was in prep. I was having like one of like the most like, it wasn't that my body per se needed a refeed, but it was just I was mentally like going, a little off. And I was like, hey, like, do I get a refeed? Because we were talking about this like days like leading up, but we weren't sure yet. And he told me like, hey, we're gonna hold like this for a few more days or like whatever to see. I don't want to feed you for your emotions. I want to feed you for your physique. And that's when I was like, you're right. I want the refeed because I want it, not because my body needs it. So
Exactly.
I
And that's
did cry that day.
between
I did
what?
cry that day. I did cry, Brayden. That's okay, but it made sense.
I
It's
believe
okay.
it. Oh my gosh, that's the worst when like you're anticipating a refeed and prep and then you
Yeah.
actually get a food drop.
He's like, this looks so good. We're just gonna taper your cardio a little higher today. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right,
Just
perfect, thank
add on
you.
an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, extra 5 minutes. It's like, right. And that 5 minutes
Oh,
does a lot, guys.
yeah,
So,
I remember
but
those
yeah,
tears are shed for sure.
yeah, but it makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like refeeds, they're typically used when body fat is already pretty low. You've been in a prolonged diet phase. You're noticing your leptin, which is one of your hunger hormones, is suppressed. When training performance goes starts to take a hit in prep, if you're really, really noticing like a drop in training performance, refeeds can be extremely beneficial because obviously training performance is very important to sustain during
Mhm.
prep to obviously try to avoid any muscle atrophy. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's like a time and a place for a refeed. But for someone with 20 to 40 pounds to lose and like a lifestyle cut, you probably don't physiologically actually need a refeed. Like
Mhm.
your metabolism isn't quote unquote broken and a refeed is not going to fix it like it does for somebody who's already extremely lean. Implementing like 1 day of higher carbohydrates for somebody who is deep into a prep
Mhm.
can stimulate the thyroid to continue burning fat and losing weight. But yeah, it doesn't work quite the same way. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then the other thing that I want to touch on is for somebody in a general lifestyle cut, like they often will turn these refeeds, which bodybuilders use very strategically, they'll turn them into just like a full weekend off or like an entire cheat day. And then
Mhm.
at that point, you're just erasing your whole weekly deficit. And then that's when you find yourself yo-yoing, right? Like,
Yeah.
let me put it this way. If you're in a 500 calorie deficit for 6 days, that's 3,000 calories, right? If you have one cheat day that's like a 2,500 calorie surplus, you're essentially erasing your whole week of progress at that point.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where people go wrong for sure.
Yeah.
So better alternative, just like have a planned free meal or a planned maintenance day where like you're not in a super deep deficit.
Mhm.
Maybe if you're feeling the constant need for a quote unquote refeed, you're just going about your weight loss a little bit too aggressively. So maybe tailor it back a little bit. Slow and steady always wins the race. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And with you saying all that about going out and perhaps like having your refeed or cheat day kind of erase your week's progress, we have things that you could even be erasing your progress with throughout the week that you might not even catch. Like we call this, when bodybuilders say we cannot just have one bite because it's just one bite, it usually doesn't turn into one bite. Let's all be honest here. But even if it's just that one bite, it opens, yeah, it opens up the floodgates to I want more, or now I know that what this tastes like, why am I not having it? And it's just like a psychological thing. But when you're cooking and you have a bite of this, you have a bite of this, you're technically it is just a bite in like common sense wise, but if you're taking one bite of everything in front of you, it's not just one bite. Every bite is not a calorie. It gets down to that extent when you're just going around tasting things like having a piece of cake, having a piece of this, whatever. I just don't think that's good for your psyche as overall, not just for the taste of the food. It's just doing more, like it's just opening up more issues for you. If you have children, I think a really big thing is tasting what you're cooking for them or having a snack of theirs, whatever the case might be. That's also another big thing. Or finishing someone else's plate after they just ate something and it just seems like it's this little thing, but at the end of the day, you're still having it and you realistically never know if you're I eat a burger and I didn't finish the whole burger, but it doesn't look like it's that big of a piece. And Bella, let's say, was like, oh, I'll just finish it. And she finished it. We don't know what's fully accounted for in that burger that she just ate. So a bite or a taste or a little half of something does add up.
It adds up really, really
Hmm.
quickly. Yeah. And you have these, I call them BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes of things that you feel like mentally are like invisible. Like, oh, it's just like a tiny bite. It doesn't count. But think about every time you have a bite of something that quote unquote doesn't count. It adds up, right?
It does.
You
Yeah.
have a bite of a cookie,
Hmm.
that could easily be 60 calories. If you have like a little handful of chips, that's another easy 60 calories. If you're finishing your kids' leftovers,
Hmm.
easy 200 calories, honestly, depending on how much you're having, but still, even if it's just a couple bites. If you just have like a sip of somebody's drink, a sip of a fun coffee, like some kind of like flavored sugary latte, like
Hmm.
easy 50 calories. And it's over time when those calories add up that really start to hold you back, right? Like
Exactly.
that's over 300 calories you could have easily just consumed that's not getting tracked properly. Across the span of a week, you're easily surpassing like 2,000 extra calories that you're not accounting
Yeah.
for.
Yeah. And that's
So, yeah,
just
that's
lack of
really just calorie
awareness.
deficit. So, yeah,
Yeah.
often I think it comes down to just a lack of awareness, which is it's a behavioral issue, and that's just it's something that you learn over time, right? Once you become more aware of the caloric value of certain foods,
Mhm.
you'll start to notice that okay, yeah, that taste of, the soup you're cooking or like having a couple bites from your kids' plates or
Mhm.
one bite of a muffin or something, yeah, you become more aware of how those calories add up.
Exactly. You need to have the mentality of you eat it, you track it. It needs to come down to that point. And if it's something that you eat that you physically cannot track because you just don't know, then that's probably a sign that just don't touch it. That's totally fine. If you like just don't think of it as I need to taste everything. If you make a rule for yourself, hey, I'm gonna eat my meal, I'm not gonna taste anything out of it, that's fine. Unless it's like things that you're tracking, like, hey, I wanna have a veggie, like whatever bowl. Okay, cool. That's easier, you knowing what you're consuming on the side of your planned out meal rather than tasting random things and it be like 5 times more than what your bowl of veggies would because it's easy to track. And I think this also ties into where people still to this day have people like ask me like how do you just eat like 5 meals a day? Because we're not used to the typical person just waking up until you're going to bed, every meal's accounted for or you're eating accordingly. And I think especially for women it's very important that we need to start. I'm not saying eat 5 6 meals, but at least three strategically planned meals is very good because we will be waking up having a coffee. Okay, cool. A coffee is not that dense unless you're getting like a frappuccino from Starbucks and it adds up. But let's just talk about like the typical 200-calorie latte. And then for lunch it's a light salad, a snack, a protein bar, and we're trying to hack the system of I'm gonna have more calories for the night, which might be true, but then you get home from a whole days of work and you're now hungry in your kitchen, nothing's cooked or prepped yet, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to want to get food in quickly, so you're either going to order food, make a bunch of shitty foods to have in front of you faster because I guarantee you after a long day of work or school, you're not going to want to stand over the stove or the oven and wait for a healthy meal with protein and fats and carbs to cook, right? I think the more you have it planned out, the better it is for your body, your brain, and also just your effort. It's gonna save you a ton of time and effort.
1,000%. The
Mhm.
more strategically you eat and regularly
Yeah.
you eat, the more regulated your hunger is going to
Mhm.
be. That way, like you said, you're not coming home from work, sticking your hand in a bag of chips or grabbing a cookie or whatever it is from the pantry while you wait to make dinner because, like, you are fed and regulated, right?
Mhm.
And eating like whole food based meals, getting your fruits and veggies in, it's gonna fill you up a lot more, keep you a lot more satiated, and um, drop the desire for wanting to snack on like all of these random things.
Exactly. I think calorie banking works to a certain extent. You can't be doing it like that. I think calorie banking just works if you are throughout your day from your planned meals kind of subtracting here and there to where by the end of the week, if you want to have a dinner out with your friends and family, a certain you totaled up a certain amount where you can go have that free meal if you choose to, or have the meal off plan where you needed a little more room, but you can't think of calorie saving or banking or whatever the case might be for the end of the day, because this is where we build the habit of either it be binge eating, restriction, whatever the case might be, and your
Yeah,
brain is
it's a
just
slippery slope.
foggy. Yeah, everything is just your willpower is low, brain's foggy. It's just not worth it because I would know when I skip a meal or I leave a meal at home, I am livid. I'm angry. I feel like I haven't eaten in days. It's kind of
Brutal.
disgusting, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
Brings us into our next point of under eating during the
Hmm.
day, which is something I see very often with women. Like a lot of my clients, when they first come to me, are under eating, and like I build them their meal plans, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much food. And it's not, it's what they should be eating, but they're just so used to under eating. And
Hmm.
so many women are under eating without knowing it because that's kind of what's been driven into our brains as society, like, eat less, move more to lose weight, and we take that to an extreme level of
Hmm.
under eating. And yeah, like you just said,
Hmm.
typical pattern, having coffee for breakfast, having just like a small light lunch, and yeah, saving your calories, and then it leads to extreme hunger.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do back in high school. Like I would wake
Yeah,
up, it would be like
I did it in university.
10th grade. I'd have a coffee, my vape in hand because nicotine kills appetite. Then it would be like the end of the day, but I'm famished, right? So then what happens? I just ate 3 days worth of calories in one go.
Yeah, because at
Doesn't
that point
work.
your willpower is out the window. Like all
Ow.
you can think about is food, portion control. Who knows her? Like
Forget it. What are you talking about? Portion control.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like something that I really try to preach on my Instagram is the importance of peri-workout nutrition as well. Properly fueling yourself before your workout. And again,
Yes.
so many of my girls, when they come to me
Preach.
and start eating a proper pre-workout meal, they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much stronger I am in my workouts. I can't believe how much more energy I have throughout the day, not only in my workout, but just like sustained energy throughout the day. I can't believe how much better I'm sleeping. Like all of the markers improve, right? And it's crazy to me how so many people will go into the gym without having proper fuel
Oh
beforehand.
yeah.
And I always say it's kind of oversaid, but I still always use it. I love this analogy. Like, you wouldn't drive your car on empty. So,
Hmm.
what are you doing? Throwing yourself into a super heavy workout without any gas in the tank. Like, your car's not going to run without any gas in the tank, so your body's not either.
Hmm.
Like, it is so important to properly fuel yourself. And
Minimum 60 carbs, guys. Minimum 60 carbs pre-workout.
yeah,
That's my
and
rule of
it's
thumb.
yeah, I always say like a 2-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein. So if you're having like 60
Hmm.
grams of carbs, have 30 grams of protein with that as
Hmm.
well. Yeah. And also properly fueling yourself is gonna aid in metabolic adaptation. Like the reason that you feel
Hmm.
like your metabolism is quote unquote broken isn't because it's actually broken. It's probably just because you've been under fueling yourself. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, once you improve your workout performance, or once you improve your workout or your workout nutrition, your workout performance is going to improve, your recovery is going to improve, your muscle growth is going to improve drastically, and that's going to help with fat loss. So yeah,
Hmm.
they all really tie in together. So rather than calorie banking,
Hmm.
and yeah, trying to save your calories for later. Eat a high protein breakfast. Have a balanced lunch with protein and carbs and fats. If you're having a salad, make sure it's got protein in it. If you're having a sandwich, make sure it's got protein in it. Have a structured dinner. Try to have something prepped for dinner before leaving for work in the morning so you're not coming home super ravenous waiting for dinner to cook, and bring snacks with you. Like I don't leave the house without a snack for the most part because you never know how long you're going to be out for, and it's always when you leave the house and you're out for longer than expected without a snack on you that you end up like going through the drive-through or just eating
Yeah.
something in alignment with your goals, right?
It makes me so furious to be out longer than intended because there's meals lined up that's waiting. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think with that being said, when we have things that are not lining up and we get confused as to why fat loss is not progressing, that's when a lot of us will turn and say, okay, my food's not working, even though there's just you're just loosely tracking and it's not to a T because people just don't understand. Like, it needs to be to a T. Like even the amount of oil, like when somebody says 10 grams of oil, they mean 10 grams, not 11, not 8, not 15,
Not just a pour. Like,
not a pour, not a pour.
yeah, same with
Because if
coffee
you're,
creamer. Like,
yeah,
track that shit, guys. Like, if you're
mm,
pouring creamer into your coffee, I can guarantee you you're probably putting about 4 to 5 tablespoons because that creamer is like
duds.
it's so good. Yeah, and it's so thin. It's not very potent, I guess. Like you have to put a lot of it in order to like taste it for the most part, right? Like a
Hmm.
tablespoon is like barely going to do anything. And a tablespoon's already like 60, 80 calories, sometimes 100 depending on the creamer you're using. So if you're just pouring that in without tracking it or weighing it out, like you're definitely using a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Even with
And
cooking oil, like those
yeah,
calories add
and
up so quickly.
you can for sure like toss it in there and let's like it's a little bit accurate. Okay, cool. But then if your coach comes and makes a change, hey, we're gonna actually take that 10 grams of oil to 5. If he finds out that you've just been pouring it in, he doesn't know to what extent he can pull
Exactly. Yeah.
levers because it's so not just an issue for you, it's an issue for them where how much room they have to make changes for
Yeah.
your goals.
Yeah, if you're not accurately tracking, you're not giving your coach accurate data, and then how can your coach make
Do
accurate
their
changes to
job.
your program
Yeah.
if the data isn't accurate, right? So
Yeah. So
everything does
with
need to be controlled, and this isn't
yeah,
to make it sound like you need to be on like a super restrictive diet or anything like that in order to make progress, but it does
you
need to
can't have commit.
be controlled. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're gonna commit, just commit and you'll see your goals faster than you thought. And this is where, so once our things are not very on point, we kind of will turn and say cardio is the best answer.
Mhm.
And cardio is not the best answer. It's just the default that we all go to. And it's just what's been marketed and affiliated with weight loss is cardio. The reason we might get on the Stairmaster or on the treadmill and run or step away and it's gonna feel like we're obviously working harder because we're sweating, everything's going. But the truth is, you can erase all that hard work, that 60 minutes, that 30, 20, whatever the case might be, by one cookie, by one sandwich, by a coffee, because cardio should be an aid, not the end all be all answer. If you spend 60 minutes on the Stairmaster, you burn 600 calories at a specific pace, let's say. If you
600
go
calories at a
home,
stretch for 60 minutes. Like you're fucking sprinting up that thing if you're burning 600.
no, well, if you're at a certain heart rate, if you're at 150, you're going calorie for calorie at that point. What level are you going?
If I'm going like level 4, I will say I'm quite conditioned cardiovascularly, but if I'm going like level 14 quick,
I was
my
talking
heart
about,
rate's at like 155, like I'm like it takes me about like just over an hour to burn 500 calories.
okay, we gotta move Stairmasters from your gym to another gym because level 10, guys, 60 minutes, if you're on that, it could go calorie for
Okay, it
calorie.
really depends on the person,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
many
yeah.
people you have on you. It depends on the Stairmaster. Um,
Yeah.
some
But
are
to like a
easier than others.
newer, to
That's not an
somebody.
accurate. That's not an
Oh yeah,
accurate
yeah.
statement.
For
But
but the difference is for somebody like you who's adapted and who is not
person,
at a place
yeah,
where they need to like lose a ton of weight compared to if somebody just went on it and spent 60 minutes on there, their
yeah.
heart
If you've
rate's
never done it any level of
180.
your life, you're gonna burn calories
Yeah.
a lot more easily for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
But
But if
regardless,
you
cardio is very time inefficient when it
oh
comes to
yeah.
calorie burning. Like you just said, you can erase that
Oh yeah.
calorie burn with literally one drink, one extra
It's
snack,
ridiculous.
all of those extra bites and licks and tastes that we just mentioned.
Mm.
Like,
It
oh,
adds up.
your cardio you just did in the morning, that's gone. Like,
And it's ridiculous because you just spent so much time, so much effort, and that's gonna be
yeah.
super
Think about how hard it must
demotivating.
work in that cardio session, how much pain you put yourself through, for it just to be
Oh,
thrown out the
I got
snow.
PTSD.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
PTSD. But you're more hungry after cardio. You're
yeah.
so depleted, like you need to refuel. Where sometimes, honestly, people will think like, hey, I just burned all these calories. I'm not gonna eat after because I want to keep the, calorie burning or like the deficit there, and they won't fuel properly. But then that's gonna ultimately drive you to the ground where you're gonna have to eat, and you're not gonna, trust me, you're not going to reach for a high protein meal. You're gonna reach for something that's gonna be quick, easy, and dense in calories.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's when you start to spiral, right? When your hunger just builds up and up and up, and then you hit this
Yeah.
breaking point and you eat everything in sight.
Don't let it get to that.
Yeah, no. And then not to mention, if you're not fueling yourself properly, then your training intensity and execution in the gym is obviously going
Gets
to take a huge hit. And when you're putting energy towards cardio, you're not going to have as much energy in the tank to put towards your strength training, which is the more important out of the two. So, yeah, cardio definitely is a tool, but
Mhm.
it's a strategic tool, right? Like, what's more important to focus on is strength training for muscle growth. The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories your body's going to burn at rest. Steps. So anywhere between like 7 to 10K steps a day is a great baseline. And then on top of that, you can put in cardio when it's needed,
Yeah.
not just like end all be all. And we never want to be using cardio as like an scapegoat for eating more or going out for like a dinner or something. You never want to be throwing cardio in just to like cancel out those calories, because also that's when we start to have this negative relationship with weight loss and food and cardio, is when you're
Yeah.
using in incorrect times.
Yeah. I think we need to use more strategic tactics and um basic and strategic before we dive into the nitty gritty of I need to do more cardio, I need to go for a run, I need to do this, I need to do that. Sometimes less is more, and the less is going to be your basics where you're going to the gym 5, 6 times a week, doing your steps. Steps, people don't understand how walking more can just do so much for you. You don't even have to be on the Stairmaster at times. Like, you just have to just, if your knee is high
Walking
enough,
15 minutes, like that's like 100 calories burned.
yeah, like
So
walk more, walk more, walk
mhm,
more. It works.
exactly, true,
Mm.
yeah. And even if you say you don't have time to get those steps in, like walk around your kitchen while you're cooking,
I pace this
in
place.
between sets in the gym, walk back and forth. Like when you're
That
brushing your
works.
walk around your bathroom. It sounds silly, but like those steps add up throughout the day.
Hmm.
So just make them a priority and you'll thank yourself later, because it's definitely a heck of a lot easier to get your steps in than to go drain yourself on
Yeah.
the Stairmaster or on the bike or on the treadmill. And it's a lot less stressful on your body as well. Like if you're
Hmm.
pounding the cardio, that is adding so much stress to your body. So when stress gets super high, what do you expect your body to do? Like it's gonna hesitate dropping that fat when it's in this like constant state of fight or flight and stress from all of the
Hmm.
cardio you're doing.
Exactly.
So cardio should support your deficit. It should be an added tool in the toolbox. It's not like the end all be all strategy.
Yeah. I just think we need to get down to the basics because it also not only saves us time, money, energy, but also it's going to be better on our health as an overall. The less you're putting into your body constantly, obviously, the healthier it's going to be. And that's when we just need to accept that most people don't need an aggressive fat loss strategy. They just need a more consistent one.
For sure.
Um,
For
and
sure.
it's just, yeah,
Something that's sustainable, right? Like if you're doing an hour of cardio every single day, that's not sustainable. If you're starving yourself every single day, that's not sustainable.
mhm,
Like think about the rest of your life. If you don't see yourself doing that thing for the rest of your life, then it's not a sustainable approach to weight
mhm,
loss. And there are ways to go about weight loss, like we just talked about, in a healthy, strategic manner that you can stick to consistently for the
exactly,
rest of your life. And yeah, consistency is the biggest thing. If you can't stay consistent with it, it's not going to work long term. So
exactly.
yeah, yeah, stop trying to chase these advanced tactics. Master the basics first.
Master the basics and stay away from the freaking 300 powders out there for weight
Yeah,
loss.
yeah, yeah. Stay away
No
from
more.
the anti-bloat supplements, the fat burner supplements.
Probiotic.
Probiotic, yeah, extreme cardio, trying to hack your metabolism, any of
Because
these.
we can't hack it.
If it seems too good to be true, like it
It
probably is.
probably
So,
is.
yeah. Yeah. If
Yeah,
it's too complicated for you to understand, like leave it alone. Stick to the
exactly.
so yeah.
The basics will
Yeah.
always get you
You
there.
probably don't need something more aggressive. You probably just need to be a little more consistent.
And the basics are the basics for a reason because they've been here time and time again, and it's obviously working for people. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So that wraps
that's,
up today's
yeah,
episode. Thank you for tuning in and listening. And as always, if you have any questions or topics you would like us to touch on, then drop in the comments, send us a DM, and we will gladly give our insight and opinion. But
yeah.
that's all for now, and
Have a beautiful week.
talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.